أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر فما له من قوة ولا ناصر والسماء ذات الرجم والأرض ذات الصدع إنه لقول فصل وما هو بالهزم إنه يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا فمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, our daughter Anisa has finished the memorization of the Quran. Sister Hanan, we are truly blessed to have you as her teacher. May Allah reward you for your efforts and dedication.
My name is Anisa. I just want to say a big thank you to Sister Hanan. Without your help, I wouldn't have finished memorizing the Quran. Thank you, Sister Amani, Sister Amal, and Sister Marvat for taking my just test and always encouraging me. I also want to thank my friends. You were my support and motivation.
And that's Darul Huda. MashaAllah, the dedication of the teachers is very inspiring. They go above and beyond. The teachers work very hard to create a positive atmosphere in which all the girls support one another. Their planning, guidance, and organization is extraordinary. The journey of Hifz is a difficult one, but the partnership that Darul Huda Tafiz teachers have developed with the parents makes it easy not just for us as parents, but the students.
I also want to thank all of Darul Huda Tahfiz teachers for making us so proud of our children. We hope to stay together as a family in Jannah.
I am Musab, and I am also a student of Darul Huda Tahfiz. Thank you, Qari Shahid, for helping me memorize the Quran. Inshallah, I hope to be a Hafiz very soon. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان.
The month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed, a guidance for the people with clear proofs and guidance and criteria. The month of Ramadan is upon us. It is the month of Quran. If you would like to send a message like this to the community or place an ad for your business, please contact MTMT. The contact information is in the description of this video. Allow us to fill our homes with the recitation of the Quran and for us to follow its guidance. Please keep our family in your du'as.
Ramadan Mubarak!
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So Ramadan Kareem, wishing you all a happy, blessed Ramadan. I would like to begin, inshallah, with our story today about the Justice League of the Quraysh. Yesterday, the brothers spoke about Khadija radiallahu anha and her marriage with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And basically, this is a little bit before that time. So let's, sorry. So when we look at the Justice League and we think about the Justice League, we think about the heroes of our times, or at least that's what we think about. I want to paint a picture for you guys a little bit and talk about the heroes um, that were there back then. And I want to do a little bit of an activity with you guys. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, either or, there's a little chat box there. If you can just think about a time that you may have seen someone in need of help, a classmate that didn't understand the lesson as well as you did, your parents with their household chores, your siblings, especially when if we're taller than our siblings and they need help picking up, so they're in need, our neighbors, and especially outside of our regular meetings, there's also homeless people. So if you can think about a time like that where someone was in need and you wanted to help them, but you couldn't help them. And I'm going to give like a few seconds if someone wants to put an example down in the chat of what, just a scenario, or maybe like, hey, yes, my mom needed help, or my sister needed help, or my neighbor needed help. And so I'm just gonna, okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna move on to just remembering that, and now I'm going to transition into a little bit of into my story of the league, the Justice League of the Quraysh. Before I begin, I want to set a mindset of what the Quraysh were going through at the time. And this is due to them just going through a war, Harb al-Fijar. And this war, the reason it was so effective and the reason it was so, it affected them so much, any war would affect obviously many, like anyone, but specifically this war was very harsh on the Quraysh because this was an unexpected war. The Battle of Harb al-Fijar. This battle took place during a forbidden month, which is, forbidden month is the month of Hurum. And so there are 4 months in a year in the Islamic calendar that are forbidden for you to start a war or start a fight. But if someone chooses to fight with you, then you are allowed to defend yourself. So that is, the 4 months are Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Rajab, and Haram. So this battle took place in one of these forbidden months. And this battle was when the Prophet ﷺ was still very young. He didn't partake in the war in terms of fighting himself or being a warrior, but actually he was at a leader position, which is basically handing over, like quickly handing over the arrows to his uncle. And basically, so remembering that this was a very unexpected war, a war that caused famine, a war that caused a lot of people to be stingy, greedy, all of those things. So so that's kind of what set up the beginning of the league, the Justice League of Hilf al-Fudul. I want to also explain what Hilf al-Fudul stands for. Basically, Hilf being an oath, al-Fudul is a plural word for Fadl. And Hilf al-Fudul, the league, began with the story of something that happened in Mecca before the marriage of the Prophet ﷺ. So he was very young. He was in his early 20s. Basically, the background story of Hilf al-Fudul is pretty cool and exciting. So there was a Yemeni man, and he came for Hajj. When people would come for Hajj as in pilgrimage, they would also use this as an opportunity to do business in Mecca. This poor Yemeni man, he was a small-time businessman. He had some goods with him, and so he decided to sell them to this VIP of the Quraysh, this big leader of Mecca. His name is Al-As ibn Wa'il. Al-As ibn Wa'il was considered a very powerful man in the Quraysh. He was a huge leader. He was extremely wealthy, an important man. So this Yemeni man sold his goods to Al-As ibn Wa'il. He said to the Yemeni man that I'll take these goods now and I'll pay you for it tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. The Yemeni man said, okay. So he came back the next day. Al-As said to him, no, not today. Come back tomorrow. So the poor man said, okay. And this kept going on for a very long time. And Al-As ibn Wa'il kept telling him to come back later. Even though Al-As is a very rich man, he could have easily afforded to be able to pay him regardless of the famine that the Quraysh in general were dealing with. This was a powerful, rich man. And this Yemeni man, he was not rich at all. He was in need of this money. So this went on for a very long time. And so Al-As got sick of this man and coming back again and again and being persistent. He said to this man, Yemeni man, said, forget it. I'm not going to pay you anything. Just get out of here. Al-As then said to, come back tomorrow. So the poor man said, okay, I really need this money. So I really need this money to pay you. I really need this money. And Al-As, out of his ignorant arrogance, thought, what was anybody going to do to me? I'm this big VIP of the Quraysh. I am among the big leaders of Mecca. This Yemeni man, he's an insignificant, he's a nobody, he's a poor man. Nobody's going to stand up for him. Nobody can do anything to me. So what if I don't pay him his money? He told the Yemeni man, I'm not going to pay you anything, so just forget it. So this Yemeni man, now, he's very upset. He needs this money, so he thinks about it, what should I do? So he decides to go to Dar al-Nadwa. This is a meeting hall, a place where all important people from the Quraysh met to make important decisions, to discuss important matters pertaining to their community. It's just like our city hall or our schools hosting PTA meetings, and our parents are invited to make special decisions. So a lot of people sometimes, depending on the matter, were invited. Prophet Muhammad also, being a very trustworthy man, he was also invited and part of that meeting. So the Yemeni man thought, if I go there, I might find other big leaders of the Quraysh, important leaders, and complain to them and see what they might be able to do about my matter. He explained to the leader of the Quraysh that were gathered there the incident that happened to him with Al-As ibn Wa'il. He told them the whole story, that I sold my goods, we agreed on a price, he told me to come back, he didn't give it to me, he kept delaying it, and finally, out of his arrogance, said, no, I'm not going to give you anything. So this Yemeni man said, if I don't get my right from this man, I will go around all the Arab tribes and I will tell them that the Quraysh are dishonest in their business. They oppress people who trade with them. They don't give people their rights. I will go around and I will destroy your reputation. Now, when the Quraysh leaders heard this, they actually got really scared. The Quraysh living there in Mecca, they got all of their income from trade because they don't have agriculture in Mecca at the time. They don't have any manufacturing in Mecca, nothing at all. All their income was through trade. So this was very important. Their reputation was very, very, very important to them. So if their reputation was destroyed in this manner, then that they are cheaters, that they are deceivers, that they take people's money. If this was going to happen to their reputation, they will lose their source of income. So out of the group of people that were there were these three men that stood up. Now, this is how kind of what plays in the name of Hilful Fudul. So the names of these three men that stood up, their first name, subhanAllah, was Al-Fadl. All three of them, Al-Fadl, Al-Fadl, Al-Fadl. They stood up and they made an oath that we will fight whoever tries to oppress another, whoever takes the right of another person, whoever cheats. We will fight to death until we can get their rights returned to them. So basically, this was the mindset of the people there and these men as well. It's not only what happened to this Yemeni merchant, but also what was already going on in their community as a whole, because the Quraysh were, and the foreigners that were coming to Mecca and the Quraysh themselves, they were going through famine, they were going through a lot of people cheating, and so there was this hope that what happened to this merchant kind of obviously led to Hilful Fudul, being that these men invited many others, so basically this oath was taken where the Hilful Fudul was formed, and these men invited many other men to come join them in this oath. So many of the people came, took allegiance to the oath with them. Yes, we will fight not only for the right of this man from Al-As ibn Wa'il, but also anyone that any dhulm or oppression happens to any man, then we will not stand, no matter who the oppressor is. He could be the most powerful man. He could be insignificant. He could be anything, but we would not stand for oppression, and that we will fight until the matter is resolved, where the right is returned to the oppressor, or either they will die or either we will die. So this was an honorable oath they took, and many people who took allegiance to this oath at the time, the Prophet ﷺ, as a young man, also took this oath, being part of the meeting. Later on, the Prophet ﷺ, during his prophethood, has said, I was called to be part of an oath in the time of Jahiliyyah. Even if I was to be called to the same type of oath in Islam, I would accept it. So knowing that, we know that this was an honorable oath. Throughout the Prophet ﷺ's life, this was his way of living. He would not stand for any injustice. He would make sure he would fight for the rights of people, whether they were Muslims or non-Muslims. And no non-Muslim would ever be wronged in front of the Prophet ﷺ. He would fight for the rights of everyone. He would not allow anyone to be oppressed. So after the people took this oath, they went straight to the house of As ibn Wa'il with their swords taken out. They took the Yemeni guy with them. They knock on his door. Now imagine this, that there's these Qurayshi leaders, just like As ibn Wa'il, and they have their swords out, and they're all, majority of them are major big shot leaders, and they knock on his door, and the group says to Al-As, you will return the right of this man, or you will be killed right now. Al-As was surprised. You're saying you're going to kill me? Do you know who I am? I am this big leader from the leaders of Mecca. You will kill me for not giving the money to this poor man? Who is he? They said, we have made an oath that we will fight for the right of those who are wrong and oppressed. And if you don't do what we are saying, then you will have this sword. When Allah saw this, he was he saw that these people were actually serious and they're not kidding. He got really scared and he actually returned the money and the rights of the Yemeni man back to him. So this was the beginning of Hilful Fudul. It's an honorable oath. It's beautiful what it stands for. It's beautiful of what difference it has made. I have so basically when Islam, because this was in the times of Jahiliyyah. So when Islam came, this oath was not canceled. It remained throughout the time of the Sahabas, throughout the time of the Khulafa. I have another example for you guys that Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu, he is the grandchild of our Prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu once was oppressed by one of the rulers of Medina, much later on from this time. But he wanted to get his right back from this man. This man's name was Al-Walid. Al-Walid would not give the right of Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu to him. So Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu said to Al-Walid, either you will give me back my right or I will call out with the oath of Hilf al-Fudul. And Abdullah ibn bin Zubair, who is a Sahabi, he heard this and he said, I swear by Allah, if he calls out Hilf al-Fudul, then I will take out my sword and I will fight until his right is returned to him or I am killed fighting for his right. And that was the impact this oath had on the Muslims and the non-Muslims. And this is the reason why it remained throughout Islam, because the principle of this oath are based upon and consistent with the principles of Islam when Islam came. So I want you guys to also understand that the Prophet ﷺ led his life where by a living example of making sure that injustice doesn't happen. Like I said before, no non-Muslim, no Muslim, no woman, no man, anybody would be would go through injustice in front of him. So I want you guys to also focus that you can also be that hero, that Justice League, like make your own Justice League, and we are the heroes as well. So you know, when you see someone in need of help, it might not be as extreme as what was happening back in the day, but today, knowing that if someone in your class is being picked on, if your sibling needs help with something as small as that, this is your helpful fudul where you need to call out for help. And if you cannot help them, then please share with an adult, your parents, adult sibling, an aunt, an uncle, a neighbor, that this person is in need of help. And if you hear something and doing something about it is also your form of being part of the heroic feeling, because you're able to stand against oppression or stand against you know, something that someone is being wronged. So to end this, inshallah, I want you guys to do your part in our community as well and donate, inshallah. I encourage your families and neighbors to also donate. These are the websites. Please go on www.mcnj.org/Ramadan stars for uploading a picture of a video or a picture even of you reading Quran, or doing adhan, and encourage your family members to donate at mcmcnj.org, inshallah. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله